Is that chair at the background really, really small, or was it just the angle?
It's really, really small because I'm really, really small.
Good morning, Vietnam! I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
You're gonna need a bigger one.
I feel the need for speed.
Roads? When we're going, we don't need roads. Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
I'm Spartacus!
I'm Batman.
I am the father.
In order for my legs to touch the ground, the chair doesn't have to be that far off the ground.
I also kudos on not being freaked out by any midget. And you didn't mention it during the podcast.
You mention it, yeah.
No.
Well, no, because I feel like, first of all, it was bad enough that I got all the Nazi stuff flung at me. I'm now not having, like, a discriminate against people. Would you guys be, like, a priority for, like, the vaccine or anything because of the type of work you do? No?
No, there's lots of people ahead of the likes of us, obviously social work, basically everybody else.
Okay.
Because I'm IT, Thomas is more sort of systems admin, isn't it really?
System
Aye, yeah. So we're very much support. We're not frontline.
Yeah.
Which is it's fine by me. I don't really mind, as long as Ian McKellen gets it,
Yeah. Is that because you don't want to get microchipped by Bill Gates? Is that why?
I would love to get microchipped by Bill Gates. It would be like a fairground ride. What's Bill going to do to me today? No, Bill, don't do that, Bill. You have to find it.
Honestly, like, I just imagine that if he was, certainly I don't feel like I've left the house at all. So, he'd be really bored. It would just be like, oh, look, that wee dot's moved from the attic to the kitchen again.
Yeah, all these people that think they must be...
they must be living some life.
super important. There's some sort of super spies and things like that. And I think, I don't want people to know what I'm doing. So therefore, I'll only put a picture of what I'm doing on Instagram. I won't, but
I know.
You'll never get me a live copper, I know.
I don't want people spying on me, tweeting from their iPhone. Did you see that thing about Instagram actually, where they were spying on people through their camera? They're being sued.
No,
all right.
It was real, and for some bizarre reason, it wasn't a massive news story, but it was real. It was a few months ago, but it came back up again recently. Instagram or Facebook is being sued for spying on people through their iPhone camera.
I don't have an iPhone.
And they've said, oh yeah, it's a glitch in the program. And you're like, yeah, it might be, but that's still fucking weird, mate.
Yeah. Oh, I'm still, I know it makes me sound like a tinfoil hat, but I'm still like slightly suspicious of like if I talk about something and then I go on Instagram or whatever and there's like a sponsored ad for it, you're like, how? Because I just thought about this or just haven't typed it into Google or whatever. I've just maybe mentioned it in passing or thought about it. Why are the sponsored ads coming up?
Here's one, and it's not a Mandalorian spoiler because you've watched a couple. You've seen.
I've seen everything apart from yesterday's episode.
Well, I was talking to a mate the other day, and he was saying like, "Oh, did you see the actor that plays Boba Fett was just waiting for the phone call from Star Wars? He'd been waiting for years to get a chance to play this role." And I'm like, "No, I didn't know that." Check my phone later. Pops up a sponsored post in my Facebook feed. That fucking same story.
That's weird. Aye, that does freak me out. I watched that Social Dilemma on Netflix a while ago. I think you guys have watched it as well, and it tries to kind of explain the algorithms away. But yeah, it is fun. The irony of people complaining about being chipped, but also being glued to their phones is not lost on me.
Do you know what's scary? Actually, the idea that the phone is still spying on you and they can hear you. All they've got such a fucking intuitive algorithm that they don't have to. That freaks me out even more.
You had a wee haircut, John?
Yep, got it done on Tuesday. Wednesday. Wednesday. Well, the barber was shut. I had an appointment with him, and he had to shut for a couple of weeks, obviously, because we went into Tier 4. But he very helpfully phoned me up and says, "I'm running out of appointments. Do you want one?" And I was like, "Oh yeah."
Oh, that's decent.
Yeah, well, he's a good guy, nice guy. So I wanted to get one done. Otherwise, it would just it'd be hairier again until January, usual.
And did this come with a black and white photo shoot this time, or is it just a straightforward haircut?
No, COVID regulations mean that I can't have a posse with me when I go for a haircut anymore.
Honestly, this is the worst thing about COVID. I don't get the black and white headshots because of fucking COVID.
I know. It's we can only hope 2021 will be better.
I'm just getting some notes up. I'm so totally unprepared for this podcast, so there's nothing new there.
Nobody said anything, Thomas. We're just glad you're back. That's all.
I know. Just happy to have you.
Mind you, you've only missed one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really wanting to watch Marnie as well, but I knew I wasn't in the right headspace that I was going to take anything.
Yeah.
All I've been watching for that kind of period was either wrestling, because I didn't have to think about it, or films I've seen a million times.
I'm just catching up with stuff like The Mandalorian. I watched The Mandalorian in 2 lots, so it was like watching a film, basically. Or watching a couple of films, which was pretty good, because my son's back for uni, so there's a pile of stuff that I would normally watch with him, like Star Trek Discovery and obviously The Mandalorian, so I just held off on it. And it worked out quite nicely because the finale was yesterday, so it was quite good, because we started off watching one last night. as I messaged you, yeah, just going to watch episode 5, 2.5 hours later. Fini, so it's all good. I would suggest watching it sooner rather than later, maybe.
I've avoided
it'll get spoiled at some point.
I avoided going online. The last thing that I want is to have it ruined, because I've so obviously loved it and just been obviously obsessed with Baby Yoda. So,
well, I didn't get it ruined. I nearly got it ruined because there was an Empire post on their website about it was another Disney Star Wars announcement. And then it said, spoilers for The Mandalorian. I thought, well, I'm not reading that. So I did avoid it, but I knew, obviously, there was going to be something. And because of that, I knew there was a post-credit scene.
You see,
I've heard there's a post-credit scene, but that's okay.
I didn't know there's a post-credit scene, but I knew, when I was watching post-credit scene, I knew what it was about. I'd seen that headline. But I'll tell you this, after you watch it, Mary, but there was a wee wink, nudge, spoiler on Twitter yesterday, but thankfully I had seen it as well.
Right, okay. I feel stressed now. I feel like really bad. I feel like I need to do this.
Honestly, I remember yesterday, I'm just kind of like finding it on Twitter, and Mandalorian, blah, blah, not even thinking. I'm like, I could probably watch it tomorrow. I'm in no rush, really. And then I was like, actually, wait a minute. What if something big happened? So I started muting everything on Twitter, and fuck, I'm just going to watch it. And I'm glad I did.
I've not been on Reddit because I'm on the Baby Yoda Reddit and I don't want any spoilers there. And I've not been on Twitter. And the last I saw of my little green bean, he was handcuffed and asleep. So I just need him to be alive in this last episode. That's all I care about.
That isn't a spoiler, but the TV handcuffs, I could actually what are you, just in tears?
Honestly, I have been an absolute wreck this entire, between the wee little blue biscuits that he was eating and when he was like putting his hands up in the air because we were going through hyperspace. All I have done is just sob. And even when I'm happy, I'm just crying all the time because he's so adorable. And when I saw the little tiny handcuffs, I must admit, the last week's episode, I was like, if they're actually going to show him being like tortured and experimenting on, I'm bailing on this because I can't do it.
Something in there like fucking Saw or something.
I was like, no, I can't do this. I was kind of like, the whole episode, I was just kind of like, where's the next scene going? Where's the next? Because I thought if I actually see him being like crying out or something, I'll be in pieces. It
was a Boba Fett episode, and I was saying to you, I think the bit you were just be kind of like, oh my god, it was when he's jetpacking him and he's got this zoom in and your face just looks like content with the kind of wind in his face. Just, I can't watch a show if I'm thinking of you.
Honestly, the funniest thing was the biscuits, because I was like, look at his wee face, and then you see him obviously and he gets the biscuits across, and it's the fact that, because Chris always slags me, because anytime, like, I'm a custard cream fiend, it's the only biscuits I like, but I always end up covered, like absolutely covered in crumbs. And when he started eating those little blue biscuits and all you saw was the crumbs round his collar, I was like, oh my god, we're the same person. I mean, I don't have the Empire after me, but I do have Bill Gates trying to microchip me, so technically it's the same storyline.
It's kind of the same thing. I mean, who's the bigger villain, really? I think that's all day. Bill Gates is really rich. I don't know why, because Windows, pretty shit. Teams, fucking terrible. Microsoft, an absolute joke. Why the fuck did they get so rich with these programs when they're shite?
Well, look at what's happening now with the likes of Cyberpunk. It's getting released incomplete. There's problems with it. That's the history of Windows. You know, they release a product and then patch it as they're going along.
think that's what he's done with this microchip as well. That's why it's not working yet, and everybody's laughing, going, ha ha ha.
We'll all just stand up and our eyes will go blue and we'll start walking towards the edge of a cliff.
I don't know if you've seen the film Gamer.
They call it a game.
Slayers gives the gamer full control of a human being in full-scale combat.
But the players are real.
Every one of our Slayers is a death row inmate. Stay alive for 30 sessions, you get set free. That's not a bad deal.
Some try to beat the system. But no one has ever survived.
Cable's a perfect soldier. He is what they want.
27 battles that was ever done. That man always ever come that close.
Yeah, the Gerald Butler.
Aye. Nicholas T. Hall's at the end. He's dancing. He's controlling these henchmen.
Gamer is really good. You should watch it. It's a good
laugh. It's fucking terrible. Don't watch it.
Right, okay, I'm hearing it's called Gamer, and I've had enough of cyberpunk chat this week, to be quite frank. Not from me, obviously. And
no, it's from the same people who did Crank and Crank 2. So that's the kind of level it's on.
I was going to say, you're not really selling it to me. Oh, John, super quickly, did you see the Criterion Collection are releasing this like really beautiful Wong Kar-wai collection in March? It's got everything in it. It looks stunning. I thought
is that a hint for a and it's going on the wedding list?
No, you just need to turn up and have a good time. I'm not asking for anything.
We've got that recorded now.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. I really wish I'd got the bit recorded where John said that I was the reason to go up in the morning, Simmy, because I felt really special.
Yeah. And then you went back to normal.
Yeah.